Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to Rob's Car World. This is Rob Lofaris, and welcome aboard. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I found a car last night I wanted to share with you. It's located in Connecticut. It's a 1959 Plymouth Fury. This car is really pretty, folks. This car is asking $16,500. The seller states it has 64,000 original miles. Again, that has to be documented because something of this age, it's very easy for it to have 264,000 miles. But I'm going to say that based on the seller's profile, he's been here since 2009 on Facebook. And I'm going to say that this is a very honest car and an honest seller as well. So the car is very pretty. It's got the smaller 318 V8 engine. There was a number of engines available that year. I believe there was a 303 cubic inch engine, which was a V8 at 318 that this car has. I believe it had the 4-barrel carburetor, but we'll look at the photograph. It's possible that it had the 2-barrel carburetor, but I believe standard was 4. The 350 cubic inch engine was also available, and the 361 engine was available as well. So there was a lot of engines back in those days that you can click a box for just $50 and get a different engine. I mean, there's fun times. This car here in particular is the first generation of the individually called Sport Fury and the Fury models. Before that, they were called and considered the Belvedere. The car had a fully restyle back in 1957. So the styling that you're seeing right now is the newest style, but the nameplate of the car became the Fury, which was basically a full-size car back then. It was really very pretty. They also had a 4-door variant called the Sport Suburban back then. So there was a lot of cars to choose from in the showrooms. Great times in the car industry. Taking you through the photographs on this car, we'll dive into some of these photographs. Just looking at the front end of the car, just the grille work and the bumper and the back bumper. I mean, you're talking, if you had to restore this car today, all that chrome work would cost you $4,000 just to have somebody do the labor. If you were to paint this car with wet sanding and primer and paint coating, you'd be over $10,000. So just the chrome work and the paint work on this car is probably close to $15,000 if you had to take on this project. So the way that things are working with labor these days and parts, before I would restore a car, I try to find something that's finished, as this car is, because it's a much better value, especially something as nice as this car. The photos in this this listing here looks like they were summertime photos. The car does have a plate on the car, so it is looks like it's a current driving car, which is nice. Love the rear end. I love the fins on this car. I know everybody likes the Cadillac fins, but I just love the way this car looks. I love the fake wheel hub in the back. It is such great times in the car industry with all that chrome work. My goodness, look at that rear bumper as well. He's showing the speedometer, 64,639 miles. There was rumors back in the 60s and 70s that if the numbers were uneven, that the clock was reversed and all, but I don't know. But I can tell upon a physical inspection, it's fairly easy to tell that this car is an original 64,000 mile car just based on the presentation of the car. But it's always good to have documentation as well, because when you sell the car, you'd like to be able to prove to the next buyer that the car is original. But look at that engine bay, how beautiful it is. Again, for $16,500, this car appears to be offering a lot of value if you don't mind driving a 4-door hardtop post car around, which I do. I mean, I love this car. Look at the pipe fitting going into the hot water system going into the upper radiator. It's a real pipe fitting that you'd buy at a hardware store. I wonder if that's original. Anyway, but nice red air cleaner. I can't really tell if this is a 4-barrel carburetor, but kind of thinking the width of this base here, it might just be a 2-barrel carb, but that's one of the questions I would ask him if I followed up on this car. But look at the nice detail of the engine bay, how nice it is. Again, has the original sticker from 1979 to 1980 when it was registered at one time. But it looks like it's registered currently in the state of Connecticut. There's the phone number to call directly, which is it's okay when people do that, but I wouldn't call him first. I would hit him up on Facebook and create a conversation with him, see what kind of response you get from him on Facebook before I'd call his or text his cell phone number. The interior is very nice. The dashboard looks great. I'm not the seats look like they were reupholstered, but there's no design or pattern in the seat, so I'm not really sure what's correct for that model year. But I'll give that a pass. I mean, you have no cracks or anything in the seat, so that's a nice look. I love the steering wheel with the clear plastic steering frame. I guess that was designed so you can feel like you're driving a sports steering wheel, and maybe you can see through it a little bit. The rear view mirror mounted on the dashboard. I never drove a car with a rear view mirror mounted on the dashboard. I guess it's pretty cool, right? Um, and there it is. Not that many photos. I would like to see more photos of the car, but from what I can tell right now, if you were interested in driving a car from the 1959 era and something that is definitely unique, something that you could probably get in the movie pictures. When they do movies, they always hunt down picture cars. I've done picture cars in my day with cars that I've owned, and it's a lot of fun. They'll pay you $300 for the day or $250 for the day. You get to meet actors and you get to have some great food, and your car gets to be in a TV show or a movie. So it's kind of fun. But this is a type of car that would probably be in demand in movie themes that they do in the 50s and such. So, and because the body style goes into the 60s a little bit, you could probably stretch this car into the early 60s as well. But a really nice car. I like it for 16.5. I'm not aware of the prices of these cars, but again, just based on the refinishing of the car, the chrome work, the bright work, the interior, the trim on the side. I mean, you couldn't buy these components and build a car like this for 16.5. So I'm thinking this car is worth his asking price. I would probably try to buy the car for 15, but I would think he's probably getting a lot of offers on this car. It might already be sold too. The car was listed 16 weeks ago. However, most of the times they take these ads down when they're sold. So, but there's a lot of activity on this car as well. Anyway, that about wraps it up. Thanks very much for joining us today. To subscribe to Rob's Car World, just hit that subscribe button. If you like these videos, hit I like. This is all about news, satire, and car finds. A lot of times it's more about car finds because I'm always looking at cars in the morning. Don't take me too serious on the satire that I post here. I have some fun with it. And many of you don't know that I was a J.C. Whitney parts illustrator back in 1965. Those little black and white photos of parts. I used to do that. And again, that's part of the satire. Thanks very much for joining me. We'll see you back here again. Thanks and have a great, great day. Bye.